Welcome to the Deep Dive. We take your research stack and boil it down into the one conversation you need. Today, we're getting into something pretty fundamental, maybe even a bit stressful for some, building that natural confidence for communication, especially when approaching people.
Yeah, what's really interesting about the sources we dug into is how they just toss out the old playbook. You know, the cheesy pickup lines, the weird games. Forget all that. This is about like a core shift inside. Our mission here is to pull out the main ideas on genuine presence, respect, and that real inner confidence. Think of this deep dive as a shortcut to getting that different mindset.
Absolutely. It's really about distilling how to connect, not convince someone, right? How to approach without all that anxiety bubbling up, and building confidence that's, well, real, not just ego. The aim is to walk in feeling centered, grounded, calm, present, and respectful from the start.
And you really have to start by tackling the big enemy here, that feeling of anxiety.
Okay, let's unpack that, because I think everyone listening knows this feeling. You see someone, you want to talk to them, and boom, heart pounds, you freeze, you start overthinking every single word. Why does that happen? Why the mental spiral?
The sources are pretty unanimous on this. The nerves kick in when your focus is totally on yourself. Like you're worried about being judged or saying the perfect thing, getting some specific outcome. You get self-conscious. But confidence, that happens when you shift your focus outward to the moment, the environment, the other person.
Okay, so the intent changes completely. It's not, I need to impress them to get their number, but more like, I'm just going over to connect, share a quick moment, see if there's a vibe. That definitely lowers the stakes, takes the performance pressure off.
Exactly. And because that anxiety rush isn't just mental, it's physical.
Yeah.
The sources give us a really practical blueprint for dealing with it when it hits. They call it the calm confidence formula. It's like a 3-step process to physically reset your nervous system.
A physical blueprint, I like that. Sounds really useful. What are those steps, according to the research?
Okay, so step 1 is just pause. Like mentally hit the brakes on the internal chatter and that urge to rush in. Rushing makes anxiety worse.
Yeah.
Step 2, breathe. And this is the key part. It's a slow, controlled exhale, specifically through your nose.
Okay, why the slow exhale through the nose? Is just taking any deep breath not enough? I feel like people always say, take a deep breath.
Yeah, that's where the physiology is really interesting. That slow exhale actually stimulates your vagus nerve, which is, a huge part of your parasympathetic nervous system, the rest and digest system. So by slowing your breath down like that consciously, you're basically telling your fight or flight system to chill out. You're signaling safety to your own body. It's kind of a biohack for instant calm.
Wow, okay. That context makes it way more than just breathing. It's like applied science. So you pause, you do the slow exhale reset. What's step 3?
Approach. Simple as that. You just walk over calmly, kind of matching that relaxed feeling you just created inside. Like you're just going to say hi to a friend. That shift in pace and breath, it changes your whole state before you even say a word. You arrive grounded.
And that first line, the sources say, needs to keep that same low pressure outward focus. They suggest something super simple, tied to the context. Like, hey, quick question, what's the best coffee shop around here? That sounds practical. But what if I'm actually interested? Does that sound too passive? Or like I'm hiding my interest?
Well, the goal isn't really passive. It's more about being low pressure and respectful up front. See, if you just walk up and immediately comment on her looks, you got to force her into evaluation mode right away. It can trigger defenses. But asking a simple external question first, it creates a neutral interaction, build a little safety, makes it easy for her to just respond. You're basically asking for a tiny bit of engagement before jumping to, are you interested? And honestly, that shows you're not needy, which is attractive in itself.
Right. The opening is more about testing the waters, creating rapport, not declaring your intentions immediately, safety first. But okay, safety isn't the same as chemistry. The sources mention that too. So how do we add that spark? Which brings us nicely into segment 2. Actually managing the interaction, flirting naturally.
Yeah, and what's cool here is the emphasis that flirting isn't just words. It actually starts before you speak, with your body language. Things like keeping your shoulders relaxed, chin level, moving kind of slowly and deliberately. Confidence, like we said, it's calm, not loud or jumpy. If you're rushing or fidgeting, you're broadcasting anxiety no matter what clever line you think you have.
Radiating calm. Got it. And to avoid that awkward thing where you feel like you're trapping someone in conversation, which definitely happens when people get nervous and just keep talking. The sources suggested a really clear, simple 3-part structure to show respect for their time.
That's right. It stops you from rambling and keeps things low pressure. So part one is an observation, something real, right there in the moment, about the environment, usually. Part two is a compliment. And this is important. The sources stress not making it about her body. Make it about her vibe, her energy, her presence.
Wait, okay. Saying something like, you have positive energy, doesn't that feel a bit vague? Or maybe even kind of woo-woo. What makes that more effective than just, like, nice dress?
That's a great question. The sources argue that complimenting something physical, well, she probably already knows she has nice hair or whatever, it's external. But complimenting her energy or presence like, I like your vibe, you seem really relaxed and fun to talk to, shows you're noticing something deeper, her internal state. It kind of proves you see her as a whole person, not just an object. It signals emotional intelligence. You notice something genuine about how she is.
Ah, okay, I see the distinction now. It's about noticing the whole person, not just the surface. So observation, genuine compliment on vibe. Then the third part, which shows confidence, the exit plan.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You show you respect her time by having an out built in. It can be super simple, like, hey, I actually got to run in a sec, but what was your name? Or, I need to get back to my friends, but before I go. It shows you're not desperate for her attention. You have your own thing going on. It lets her engage freely.
Makes sense. And beyond that structure, the sources really highlighted playfulness and humor. If flirting is, as they say, emotional play, what does that look like in practice?
It means things like light, playful teasing. Nothing mean, obviously.
Yeah.
Just showing you don't take yourself or the situation too seriously. Like if she orders some really complicated coffee, you can maybe joke, wow, a triple shot soy milk, extra foam, whatever latte. Living life on the edge, I see. What other wild risks have you taken today?
Humor, when it lands, is huge. It builds rapport instantly. Laughing together is a massive green light for chemistry. So keep it light, positive. The conversation should feel like a fun little detour in her day, not an interview. And the authors definitely stressed shifting the focus. Ask engaging questions about her. Don't just brag about yourself. That keeps it casual, less pressure.
Absolutely. Asking questions shows genuine curiosity. And that's surprisingly rare and attractive. If you go into it just thinking, I wonder what's interesting about this person, you stop worrying about impressing them. You basically act like a friend first.
Yeah.
And then the confident conversation just flows more naturally.
Okay, so we've set the stage, made the approach. Now, how do we actually read the signs? Decode attraction without, obsessing over every little word. How do we tune into her energy and behavior instead of just looking for verbal yes signals?
Yeah, and this starts even before you walk over. You got to look for those pre-approach indicators, the green lights. She looking your way, maybe smiling, lingering nearby. Those are good signs. But if her back is literally turned or she's deep in a book, clearly zoned out, the sources say, respect that. She's not open to it right now. Pushing anyway just shows you don't get social cues.
Respecting the unspoken no. Good point. Okay, so let's say the conversation started. Our sources pinpointed 5 key behavioral signs actions, not just words that signal attraction or investment. Let's get into these because this seems like where a lot of guesswork happens.
Right, and these are often subconscious instinctual things. First, she initiates or keeps the conversation going. Simple but powerful. Women generally don't waste time talking to guys they have zero interest in. If she asks follow-up questions, keeps the ball rolling even with small talk, that means she feels safe and she's invested enough to continue.
Okay, number 2 is about physical engagement.
Exactly. Proximity. Does she move a little closer, lean in when you talk, hold eye contact a bit longer, or does she subtly kind of angle away, create more space? Leaning in means she's comfortable with your energy. Moving away. Well, that's a clear sign she's not feeling it.
Third one, this is the classic one, subconscious preening, playing with hair, touching her neck, adjusting clothes or jewelry. Why does that happen? What's the psychology there?
Yeah, it's fascinating. The sources explain this as a deep instinctual thing. When we feel attraction, biologically, there's an urge to kind of enhance our appearance. So those little adjustments, smoothing hair, fixing a strap, are unconscious attempts to look her best for you. It's happening without her necessarily thinking about it. Guys tend to overanalyze words. Women often show interest through these physical behaviors.
That makes it much more significant than just, oh, she touched her hair, okay.
Definitely. Fourth sign, and this one shows real emotional investment. She asks personal questions, going beyond surface stuff like, what do you do? When she asks things like, are you seeing someone? What do you like to do for fun? Are you from around here? That shows she's curious about your life, maybe even picturing how you might fit into hers. Questions equal investment.
And the 5th sign, the one that confirms you're kind of on the same wavelength.
Mirroring. This is when she starts subtly matching you. Your tone of voice, your posture, maybe even your expressions. You lean back, she leans back.
Yeah.
Talk a bit quieter, she does too. It's her subconscious saying, yeah, we're connecting. I feel comfortable with you. So the big takeaway is, stop trying to read her mind through her words and start noticing the nonverbal dance happening between you.
And then even if the signs are good, flirting ends with strength. The sources suggest you should ideally be the one to end the conversation first, to show confidence that you don't chase.
Yet, leaving first, especially when things are going well, is a huge power move, in a good way. It shows you value your own time, you have other things going on. A great way to do it is something like, hey, I actually have to take off, but this was really fun talking to you. Maybe we could continue at another time. Leaves the door open, but you're still in control.
All right, let's shift into segment 4. Tackling the big one. The fear that stops so many people before they even start. Rejection. We followed the steps, read the signs, but still, we might get a no. Why does that rejection sting so much?
It hurts because we wire it directly to our self-worth, don't we?
Yeah.
If she says no, our brain translates that to, I am not good enough, I am not attractive. But the sources hammer this point home. Rejection defines that moment, that specific interaction, or her current state of mind. It doesn't define you or your value. Maybe she's busy, maybe she's having a bad day, maybe she just got out of a relationship. It's information about the situation, not a judgment on your worth.
So the goal isn't to somehow magically avoid rejection that's impossible, but to change how we process it. And confidence, the sources say, comes from exposure.
Exactly. You build resilience by doing the thing you fear. Treat every single approach, every conversation, like practice, not a performance with a pass-fail grade. If your goal is simply to learn something, maybe learn to manage that initial anxiety spike better, learn to observe body language more clearly, then there's no failure. You're just gathering data. And that learning mindset kills fear way more effectively than any technique.
Which brings us to that 3-step mental shift. The mindset to adopt before you even approach, to take all that internal pressure off.
Right. It's like a pre-approach mantra. 1, I don't need a specific outcome. I'm just here to be present, connect if possible, not control the result. 2, I'm here to connect, not convince. If I feel like I have to persuade her or sell myself, she's probably not the right fit for me anyway, at least not right now. And 3, rejection doesn't change my fundamental value. My worth comes from inside, not from whether this one person says yes or no. And when you genuinely let go of that neediness, she can feel it, like the sources say. Pressure repels, presence attracts.
And okay, when the no does happen, maybe she says, I have a boyfriend, or not interested, or just gives a closed off vibe. You need a way to handle it gracefully, confidently.
Yes. The recommended response is super simple, mature, and shows total emotional control. You just accept it immediately. No arguing, no pouting, no trying to change your mind. Just something like, okay, no worries at all. Have an amazing day. And then you genuinely move on. That response, it actually screams confidence and maturity, which, ironically, are traits people find attractive. Even if she wasn't interested, she'll respect that exit.
That's a powerful way to leave, proving your self-worth is still intact. And there was a bonus reframe too, right? That rejection is actually protective.
Yeah, think of rejection as a filter. It saves you from investing time and energy into someone who isn't the right fit, isn't available, or isn't reciprocating. The right person, the one who genuinely resonates with you. You won't need to convince them. It will feel more natural.
This has been really practical, a deep dive into what feels like more conscious communication, really. But the big takeaway seems clear. The path to better connection isn't about external tricks, lines, games, whatever. It's internal. It's about building your confidence, your presence, your calm.
Absolutely. The sources really make a strong case that mastering these skills, managing your own state, focusing on connection, treating strangers like potential friends first, helps you approach anyone with more ease. And it's not just for dating, right? This stuff makes you better at networking, better with colleagues, even better in conversations with family. It's a universal communication upgrade.
So, if pressure pushes people away and presence draws them in, maybe the final thought for you listening is, what's one small, low-stakes thing you can do this week just to practice being present in a conversation without worrying about the outcome? Maybe just asking a stranger for directions and really listening, or offering a genuine vibe-based compliment to a barista. Remember, confidence isn't something you wait for, it's something you build through action.